Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our Week 10 NFL preview between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now let's look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with Indianapolis.
When you look at the Colts going against the Jags offense, you look at where they can be effective. Guys like Philly Muala, Cavell Connor, Jarrell Freeman, those guys will be vital because, one, they help stop the run. They help put Jacksonville in second and third and long situations, and they also help control the underneath passing game. The way they communicate amongst each other is outstanding, and I think that's why they're playing some great football. But let's go inside the lab and look at this Colts offense and see how they can be effective more so in the red zone this week versus Jacksonville.
So far this season, we've come to find out that the Colts are essentially a pass-first offense, and that's what leads to them struggling in the red zone. And here what we have drawn up is some ways it could be effective with their red zone opportunities. Two things you got to remember when you're passing in the red zone. One, you got to have quick developing plays. They got to come quick. They got to develop. They got to get the football out their hands quickly. And also you got to have some built-in blitz beaters to effectively rid yourself of the football if the team sends a blitz. And here's an example of a blitz beater concept. We're going to take this slot guy, we're going to bring him up, post to 10, break it out at 12. So it's 10 to 12. He's running to the corner, to the pylon. This is the end zone right here. So he's shooting to the pylon. His goal is get to the corner of the end zone. We're going to have the tight end here as well. Stem up, post, 10, corner, 12. Stop route right here. His job is essentially, he could be the safety valve, the dump off guy, but his job is essentially to pull this corner down and leave this tight end right there one-on-one with the safety. Another option for the quarterback. And we have your blitz beater here, your slant coming across. He can hit this guy here, here, or even here. And the reason why this opens up is due to the fact, one, you have this guy going to the corner, and two, you release it back out in the flat. Why? Because if this clears out and you see nothing over here and the linebacker jumps this slant, this guy is wide open. So that's an example of a blitz beater concept. Now I'm going to show you how you can utilize the quick developing routes that develop quickly for the quarterback to get the football out of his hands quickly. Same concepts though. You have your outside receiver running a 12-yard comeback route. Turn it out, 12 yards right there, boom. Tight end, 10-yard out. If it's man, you keep running. If it's zone, you settle down and be ready for the football. You have the slot guy stemming up, working back out, and you have your takeoff route, and you have your back check block. If not, then come across the middle. So two quick developing routes. This is another quick developer, and this is your safety valve. So those are some ways that the Indianapolis Colts can be effective in the red zone this week versus Jacksonville.
Now let's move over to Jacksonville in this matchup. You look at their linebacker, Russell Allen. He's been playing some outstanding football, the leading tackler on the team, and it's going to be his coverage ability versus the tight ends, which will be vital this week versus Jacksonville. But I also look at Aaron Ross. I think he's going to have to step up big and make some plays, whether it be effective blitzing on the quarterback or covering the slot wide receiver. He's going to have to step up. And also Chris Przinski back there at free safety will have some opportunities to catch interceptions. Andrew Luck hangs the football up in the air a little bit too long. It gives the defensive backs time to run under and make plays. He's going to have to make those this week. But let's go inside the lab and look at this Jags offense to see what they can do this week on first down to help put them in better situations.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have to win on first down in order to have some success versus Indianapolis. And one way they can do that, I believe, is utilizing a condensed formation or a wing set or an ace formation, essentially with the two receivers going to one side. One thing this does, it widens out the defensive pressure. So that way you still are able to run the football without any congestion. And that's why I love this formation so much, because now a defense has to align themselves to this. They have to stay gap disciplined. They also have to account for the two wide receivers. So one, it widens out the outside rush. It helps combat versus the outside edge blitz of a corner or safety. And you can bring in the extra tight end, or you can bring in a fullback here as well. So two things it does. One, like I mentioned before, it allows you to still run your outside zones and things of that nature. It also allows Blaine Gabbert to get the football out of his hands quickly. and it also moves the offense and keeps it condensed to where you can effectively block it up properly. So I think these type of formations, condensed formations, double tight formations, essentially, just moving the receivers to one side, get creative with your formations, can help the Jaguars move the football on first down, and that just makes third down much more manageable, and I think that's how they can have some success this week versus the Indianapolis Colts.
The X factor will be the Jags secondary. They can essentially play the run on the way to the quarterback. The Colts are a pass-first team. And I look at Andrew Luck's ability to make plays with his legs. That's going to be something you have to look for this week as they take on the Jags. Let's look at the personnel breakdown, and the Jaguars do have the opportunity to make plays versus the Colts. Remember, they won the first matchup, and I think they can win again. The Colts have gotten better on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and I think that will be the X factor, the key component in this ball game. I like the Colts in this ball game. I honestly think both defenses will keep this one close, just like the first matchup. But when you look at the two quarterbacks in this ball game, you have to ride with Andrew Luck and the consistency that he has shown in the passing game. So I think the Colts go on the road and get a good victory within the division. And I want to give a huge shout out to Colt fan forums and Jag fan forums for always showing football game plan support.